documentation, we're going to look at the searching feature. All right, let's talk about searching. What I'm referring to is when you have a report or a build in the preview tab we're talking about here, it's the actual search or filter option in the DataTables report. So we're going to cover like two bases here. One, how to control when the search appears or doesn't appear. There's a couple places to do that. And two, we're going to look at the demo file and see how it actually works. So let's take a peek at what searching is from DataTables quick and just understand what their documentation say. It's talking about that it's smart. So what I want to point out is that if, as you train your users or you use this, by putting a space between your search terms, it will do a multi-part search, which is really powerful and it's lightning quick. So I think as you practice with it and remember to educate your users on how the proper searching is, they will learn to go, this is awesome. I can get right to what I want by searching what I can see on the screen or beyond that. Just so you know, the DataTables, the way it works is it will concatenate or search on those terms across multiple columns. So that's why it allows you to do a multi-search thing. So for example, we'll do it in our demo, but you can search for a name and a city or a gender and a phone number, and you can constrain your found set really quickly down. But just so that you're aware, the way DataTables works, it's a subtractive method. So as you search and put a space in, it will then, it doesn't go and say research this, it's research. It is going to just keep subtracting your found set until it could potentially be nothing. Okay, so it's easy to clear. You just clear out the search box and you get back to your found set. So let's take a look now in the builder, in the documentation, about where you get to change these things in the settings. There are actually 3 spots. So let's peek at those. To turn, in the last lesson, we were looking at the DOM elements, and that is one of the spots that you can turn off. We showed an example of that, and I'll re-illustrate where you get to do that. But you can turn the search feature box from even appearing via the DOM. So that's one option. 2, when you have it in the DOM, you still have another level that you can actually say, disable this search for this particular report, true or false, show it or not. So that means you could just leave the DOM on all the time and not have to change that, and then control it in your settings. And the third option is when you have the search on in the DOM and you have it enabled, you can go into each particular column and say, can I search this data set? Can I search this? And let's look and see where you would actually control those. So that first thing we were talking about is in the DOM. Under our search settings, when we were in the JS function, I showed you this card window before. Remember, if we take out the F here, then it will not appear anywhere. And it's the overriding control of the system. You can't search on the DataTables report at all. But let's say for sake that we're just going to always leave it in there. What we have is another option on that particular report is to say it is searchable. So when I come to this report, if I turn this to false, it's the same thing as removing the F from the DOM, but I like to leave it here in the DOM and then control it by the report. And then the third, more specifically granular, is as we're in the columns tab, and we'll get more practice with this as we go on through the lessons. I declared that I'm setting 5 attributes about each data thing. One was the data. Is it orderable, searchable, title, and visible? So I'm talking about the searchable attribute. If this says true, then as the user searching, that will be included in the DataTables builders. Like, I'm going to look at this field. I'm going to look at this. If it said false, then the search will still appear, but it will not look at this particular field. Okay, so now we know we can control searching a few different ways. What we're going to look at is going into the demo file and practicing a little bit with this and showing you how to actually do some quick searches. Before we do that, there was one small change I'm going to make to the demo file, and I'm just modifying the script that we had before. Currently, we have 40 records in our found set, and now I modified the search to say show me all records, so we get a little bit larger found set to be able to demo this. All right, let's hop over to the demo file. We're in the demo file 2.3 searching. Let's hit the quick start option and get started. All right, just a reminder, last time we looked at the DOM elements, which are like showing the pagination, the search feature, toggling those on and off, learning how that works. I am going to quickly show you where to do that. Just as a quick reminder, you go into JS function, and in the settings tab is where you can change the DOM position. We cleared it last time. And then you can also toggle whether or not the searching is on or off here. So those are where you set those elements. But let's go and actually play with the search feature right now and show you how that works. All right, let's do our typical pattern. And this time we are actually going to spice it up a little bit. Instead of repeating the action of duplicating the entire record, I do just want to use one of the other elements to show you why. And I illustrated to you during the presentation that I made a small change to the context script to be able to go from 40 records to the entire file instead of 500. So I just want to prove to you that we like everything about this report right now. We know that the columns haven't changed. The data is still the same format, but we're going to hit the duplicate clear data option, and that's going to duplicate this entire report. Let's quickly rename it to our standard conventions. And let's just say 2.3, and we are on searching. Okay, still these two stay the same. Submit and close that. Now, because we cleared the data, what I want to point out to you is if I go to the preview tab, there's no results here. It left our structure, it left our CSS and everything working, but it doesn't have any data to read, and it tells us so. If I go to the columns tab, we still left that. We didn't clear that out, which is okay. But if I go to the data, I have no results. So what we're going to do right now is go perform that search on the script that I just showed for you guys. Let's bring that up. And we want to be in context collect data. And I'm just going to run it. The only thing that I changed here was I disabled the search that we did in a prior lesson. So right now we're showing all records and we're bringing that back. So let me hit play on that for you guys. And while that's executing, just remember what it's doing is it's finding you and it's going to bring it to the clipboard. You can change that in the future, but all I want to do is now paste that into my data, and you'll see that I had 0 records before, and when I click out, it'll modify. I have 500 records in my found set, and you can see that it's evaluated. Once we hop over to the preview tab, 500 records are here. Okay, so that's how simple it is. Create your report, add your data, and you can keep working. Okay, so let's talk about the search feature here. So I just want to point out a couple tips, tricks, whatever, how to use it. Use this to help your users learn how to search and enjoy its power. Okay, so let's kind of look at this example here. I am going to drag this out a little bit further, just so we have a little bit more information to see. And I'm going to perform a search. So the first thing I'm going to do is sort this by phone number. I don't know why, I'm just going to do it. And I can see that there's a middle digit here, 238. So all right, I'm going to perform a search. I should be able to see that in my results, right? So when I go 238, okay, I got that stayed there, but then I got these other results and I don't see 238 in the phone number. So I kind of like look through the data and go, where is it? And I notice, oh no, it's coming up in my found set over here in the ID field. Well, gross. I don't really want the ID field to be searchable. So I'm going to show you how you can turn off a particular column from being able to be searched. Okay. So to do that, we're going to go over to the columns tab. And we haven't gotten to the lessons where you get to really make this powerful. So we're just manually going to do this right now. Remember, we're on the ID field and there's this field called searchable and it's set to true. If I toggle that to false and click out and come back to my preview, all right, it reset itself because it reloaded the page. And I do 238 again. Watch what happens. Only one record was found. So it's really important to understand that whatever you include as your behind the scene column attributes will drive the way the user gets to interact with it. Okay, one little thing while we're here, I just also want to show this feature. We're going to go back to that columns, and do you see how we've turned searchable to false? I also don't want it visible. So I'm just, for the purposes of this lesson, showing you, let's hide it. It's ugly. It's taking up room. So let's go over to the preview guess what? It's gone. So that's how easy it is for you to manually change some attributes. And in the next series, we're really going to dig into how to do this more modular and more with the user interface to allow you to control that. But we're here about searching, so let's just keep looking at this. Let's do another example. I am going to sort by city this time. All right, so you can kind of see in my found set that I have a few Abilenes. So let's do a search for that. So I'm typing in Abile. All right, perfect. I have 4 records and it tells me that it's filtered, that I'm searched on it. But you can see here that I have, if I sorted by state now, and notice that you can still continue to do a multi-sort there, I have Kansas and Texas. So by putting a space after Abilene, I haven't even spelled out the full city. I got that far. But if I want to just say, you know what, not Texas, I'm looking for Kansas. Nope, I was looking for Texas. So you just use this and it filters your list even further up, okay? And then if you even wanted to go further and put another space, you could say, but I'm looking for Lily. So now I just typed in Lily and I got to the result I want. So imagine teaching your users how to get this far, and that's the power of it. You're not sending a FileMaker script and saying, hey, and it's really, really fast. Okay, so let's clear out the search and let's just do one more. It doesn't always have to be a search to find something. It might be something, you might have data and you just want to know something without having to create a relationship on your graph. You could just get a count of something. So I know this is kind of a lame search, but we are looking at the, let's pretend we're looking at this email and I have 500 entries and I'm just curious how many of them are coming from Gmail. No, let's say Hotmail. All right, so Hotmail. I can see right there, I have 71. I can write that note down and go, okay, there's 71 Hotmail accounts. I could also go, how many Yahoo, right? And there's 86. Okay, great. Let's do Gmail. So you're just, it's a way to go, okay, I got information without asking anybody to write a report for you. You can kind of get something like this. Now, I don't know how many of you actually need that kind of a search, but here we go. So now I'm looking at the Gmail and I thought, oh, you know, I'm looking for a particular person. I remember he had a Gmail account. Maybe wasn't his name Corey or something? And then you can just go space and start typing. Was it Corey? Oh, there's a Corey in this list. Here, let me see that. I think that might be it. And you can get all the way down and interact with that record and find your stuff. So use the power of the search. Train your team members, your users to understand what's happening here out of the box, and enjoy, play around.